As we all know, Dane is superhuman. He's a successful doctor with an MBA in his back pocket. He constantly performs at the highest level with the lowest possible amount of sleep. Dane is always there for you. In fact, he won't let you forget that he is always there for you. When you've been busy, Dane is there checking in and planning a movie night. Dane's friendship is exactly what you need when you need it the most.
I remember one night after a few drinks, we invented a radio show, now I think people call them podcasts, that we wanted to produce on the Stanford radio station called Stud or Dud. The concept of the show was that we would debate everything from men to current events, and at the end of the debate, we would give a verdict. If we felt positively about a particular thing, for example, Chris Hemsworth, the verdict, stud. If we felt negatively, for example, climate change, the verdict, dud. So enter Ryan, like an angel out of the mist of a Southside fog machine. Verdict, stud.
Ryan, you are a fiercely loyal and kind friend. You're possibly the best person I know at keeping in touch. Unfortunately, as many of you know, unless you have a harsh restraint, texting with Ryan can result in a full novel being written to you. But all joking aside, I love keeping in touch with Ryan. His passion and love for his dogs, the work he does, and most importantly, Dane, is absolutely contagious. As I mentioned briefly earlier, he reminds you to care because he himself is so warm and so caring. And the person he cares for most is rightfully Dane.
Somehow, Ryan managed to find somebody equally driven yet caring. I've had the privilege of witnessing Ryan and Dane's relationship grow over the years. I've seen them propel each other to achieve more and more with constant love and support. It's about time that we made this beautiful family official, so please raise a glass to Ryan and Dane.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Cheers.
We love you.
Well, folks, we did it. We are finally here, all together, in what could not be a more perfect setting to celebrate one of life's greatest moments and two of its greatest people.
Dane has always been a golden boy, and his time at Stanford was no exception. From the moment he stepped onto campus, it was clear that he was, as Jonah would say, a stud. Beyond his good looks and charm, Dane was a star pre-med student, a member of the rock and roll themed a cappella group, the Harmonics, all while managing to find time for more mischief than most. After over a decade of friendship, I consider to be Dane more like an older brother, and I know my sister agrees. Nora, Dane, and I are all lucky in the sibling department, so being elevated to sibling status in our mind is no small feat, but even our mother agrees. Dane, you're one of the family.
Despite living on different sides of the country for the last 10 years, it has not stopped us from growing closer and closer. Dane has, as you can imagine, had an incredibly demanding schedule since he began med school, but as his friend, you would really never know it. He is one of those friends that puts in the time, and he shows up, and he takes advantage of every free weekend and every free moment and makes time for his people. And I feel very lucky to be one of those people. And there was a time that we wondered who would be a match for the force that is our Dane. The first time I ever met Ryan was at the 4th of July, the first year they had met. I had just gotten dumped and was in desperate need of last-minute plans, so Dane graciously invited me along to the house that they had rented in the Hamptons. We arrive at the house to discover it's full to the brim. The only possible place for me to sleep was in bed with Dane and his new boyfriend, Ryan. So first night, Dane sleeps in the middle because I had met Ryan that morning. And I don't know how many of you have ever had the pleasure of sleeping near Dane, but in addition to being difficult to wake up, he is a nightmare when he is asleep. He kicks, he punches, he slaps. So after that first night, I woke up on the floor having been ejected from the bed. So night 2 rolls around, and Ryan, my new friend Ryan, agrees to sleep on my side and physically guard me from the monster that is sleeping Dane, absorbing all of his kicks and punches and slaps on my behalf. Ryan and I really took our friendship from 0 to 60 that night, but I remember thinking, this guy can stick around. Ryan, it's been so special to have you integrate into this group of friends. We can be tough, and you've really put up with a lot. We'd like to end by acknowledging a very important person who many have brought up, who's not here today, and that's Dane's father, Larry. Emily and I also lost our father several years ago, and while that is a shitty club that I would not wish on anybody, it has certainly brought our friendship with Dane much closer.
When our dad was sick, Dane and Ryan were there. They were there for the heartache and the tears, and they were there to cheer us up by belting Mariah and Whitney and playing way too much Cards Against Humanity. And not 1 year after we lost our dad, Dane lost Larry, and Nora and I were called on to switch roles. Thank goodness Dane had just given us a master class in how to show up for your people. I found myself leaning on Dane's experience of grief to help make sense of my own. Dane is wildly authentic in his emotions, and grief is no exception.
Dane, you are our family, and Ryan, now you are too. We've all heard how good you guys are at showing up for your people, but it's been such a joy to watch how you show up for each other. More than most, you guys take such good care of each other while also making so much space for each of you to shine in your own authentic selves. We are lucky to have a front row seat to the life that you guys are building, and we're so grateful and happy to get to celebrate with you.
Every parent wants their child to be happy, to be content, to be happy and feel loved, and to give love and to know love. Dane, you are lucky. And Ryan will be your anchor, just like your dad was my anchor. When I was sad, he would hold me up. He would keep me afloat. And I know Ryan's that for you.
It is a long, long awaited celebration of Ryan and Dane's love. My name is Olivia. This is Esther. And Ryan, Esther, and I became rather inseparable in our early years in college at Columbia. So inseparable that they called us the tripod. Clearly, we were the cool kids, as you can tell from the name that we were given. And just like a tripod, we didn't move the fastest, but we were steady and we were strong as we grew together.
Ryan, our relationship is so unique that we've managed to confuse quite a few people over the years. You've been mistaken for my father. Our bodyguard, see those biceps, and the confused locals in Barbados seeing Ryan flanked by 8 women. And of course, our boyfriend by basically everyone. In all fairness to them, you've filled a little bit of all those roles for us. Our parent, our protector, and our support system. But at the core, you are the most devoted and loyal friend we will ever have. And I know a lot of people here think they have devoted friends, but let me just clarify what I mean by loyal and devoted. Take Patron shots before going to a rap concert, even though you hate rap, kind of loyal. Fly to New York from LA for 36 hours to surprise you on your 30th birthday, kind of loyal. And call you, no, not a text, like a voice call just to say hello and see how you're doing, kind of loyal.
So a person as thoughtful and devout was of course destined to find love. Somewhere between long working hours as a law firm associate in New York City, Ryan met a young and, according to him, very handsome, very talented, very intelligent med school student. Ryan, that combo doesn't exist, does it? From day one, it was Dane this, Dane that. Dane, Ryan was so smitten with you that Esther and I, we just told him to shut up. We were like, you need to chill. But just like Bill Bouquet, Ryan was hooked on Dane. So we had to meet him. And let me tell you, Esther and I, we had high expectations. I mean, if we needed to put up with that much obsession, it better be good. Well, Dane, it turns out you are even better than Cajun chicken. And frankly, we've become obsessed. And genuinely are honored to call you our friend now.
Ryan and Dane, you're both very different. While Dane has a million friends, Ryan has a million pairs of sunglasses. Ryan loves to plan with 18-point checklists. Dane is a little more spontaneous. But these differences create a harmonious balance that enable you to grow as people. Ryan, you remind Dane and all of us to be more thoughtful and connected to the people we love. Dane, you've opened Ryan's heart and mind to new experiences and perspectives. As a city boy, Ryan is learning to love nature. He even owns a pair of hiking boots, Prada, of course. It fills our hearts that Ryan has found someone so worthy of his deep, unwavering loyalty and love.
Happiness is the one thing that will double when you share it. But tonight, we didn't just double it, we quadrupled it, and we brought it to 150 beautiful, smiling faces here tonight.
A marriage is a pact that you make to one another, but it is also a commitment from all of your family and friends gathered here today as witnesses to support your marriage. So all, please join us in raising a glass to the happy couple. Ryan and Dane, you have all of our unconditional love and support.
Mazel tov!
Na zdrowie! Congratulations!
Ryan and Dane, each of us is here because of our love for you and because of your love for us. We are here to witness your marriage and the promises that you are about to make to each other. For those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Mia. I've known Ryan and Dane both for a long time, way before any talk of love, before they were planning out their California closet together, before Hugo and Roger, even before the arguments about who gets to wear which Tombolo shirt on what day. As such, I've been a witness to their story since day one. Dane was the only reason I passed my multivariable calculus class at Stanford, but I didn't need a math tutor to know that Ryan plus Dane equaled, well, the limit does not exist. Luckily, my matchmaking skills are better than my matrices. After telling Ryan to come to my place, I showed Dane a picture of Ryan. I think Dane responded in one word. Aye. Our Dane, he gets right to the point. Most of you know the evolution of their romance from there. Boy meets boy, boy likes boy, Boys go dancing at Southside. A hand makes a move onto a sweaty back on the dance floor, and the rest is history. Where our ideals of a harmonious world order are rarely met here on Earth, Ryan and Dane find that balance with ease and consistency in theirs. They have an almost preternatural ability to anticipate the other's needs and desires, and as a result, maintain balance, momentum, and harmony that most of us would envy, both on vacation and at home. They give and take from each other instinctively, allowing the other to both shine and brood, to explore and retreat, to exert and relax. When I asked them in the months leading up to today what they loved about each other, their answers echoed one another's, which I think explains their synergy. Dane told me that he fell for Ryan's conviction, his love of travel, his openness, his closeness with his family, his determination to make their relationship work when faced with a cross-country move, and because, quote, he's hot, smart, and successful. Ryan told me he loves Dane's sense of adventure, his energy and enthusiasm, his ability to make Ryan laugh and bring out Ryan's inner goofball, his consideration when choosing what school would make them both happy, his intelligence, and, quote, his body, duh. But no matter whose world you live in, and however perfect that chemistry might be, there are, of course, greater challenges than apartment spreadsheets and puppy training. There is heartbreak and loss. There are major life decisions and conflicting opinions. And it's in these moments where what lies below the surface layers of a relationship, the grittier, less delicate matter that binds two people together, really counts. At the core of their relationship, there is a partnership built on something much stronger. Ryan and Dane support each other, protect each other, and bring out the best in each other.
Dane, when we first started dating, we spent almost every day together, and I was able to quickly and easily see what an incredible person you are. You are one of the most caring people I've ever met. You feel deeply for everyone around you, and you consider your friends as family. You love living life and value every minute, awake and asleep, that you have, and your zeal is infectious. Dane, I can't imagine life without you. You've embraced me and physically held me at my very worst. You have celebrated me at and have encouraged me to be my best, and you have loved me every place in between. You are the love of my life and my best friend. I am so excited to marry you again and spend the rest of my life with you. I promise to increase the joy in your life and to share any burdens that come your way. I promise to value Tuesday AMC nights with you. I promise to support you, your decisions, and your dreams, and I promise to always be by your side. I promise to give you foot massages while we binge watch Netflix. I promise to listen to you, to appreciate you, and to respect you. I promise to love you every day, and I promise to be the husband that you deserve.
I felt an attraction to you right away when our dear friend Mia invited you into my life. Besides the eyelashes and the broad shoulders, your caring generosity was so clear from the very beginning. But when did I know that we were bonded forever, that you were without a doubt mine for life? Well, I landed on a midnight flight to Boston to the news that my dad had passed suddenly and unexpectedly. The next morning brought a painful, lonely 4-hour train ride back to New York. But as I got off the train at Penn Station, through the blur of weekday commuter traffic, I knew that I was safe, because there you were. And you took me home, and there waiting right in front of our apartment with arms wide open were your parents. And I knew that they were my family for life. So, it's no surprise that we're here today. Over the years, we've grown so much together, and I'm constantly impressed by you. I've come to know that you're an extremely hard worker, but not at the risk of blindly following a prescribed plan that doesn't bring you joy. You have integrity, and you know that life is meant to be lived in the pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. We have an openness that allows us to not shy away from difficult conversations. You always want to push us forward. So I can't wait to keep building a long life with you. You are exactly what I want and exactly what I need.
It is wonderful to be here, and this incredible event has been 2 years in the making. It's said that if you really want to know what kind of person someone is, you need to look at their friends, you need to find out who they hold dear. And as I look around this room, I see excellence, I see kindness, loyalty, generosity, brilliance, creativity, humility, success, camaraderie, and I just see so much love. The list goes on and on. Dane and Ryan, you two and your closest friends and family are truly going to change the world for the better, and you already are. Before I get to Dane, I would just like to say to Ryan, on behalf of myself and my wife Ashlyn and Blake and Heather and Mike, we love you, and we are so blessed to have you as part of the family. The list of your great qualities are endless. And as I've watched you over the years, I've noticed your kindness is unmatched. And the way you make everyone feel special is it's just one of a kind. I always loved watching you interact with our grandmother, Mimi. We had Mimi, an old conservative lady from Longton, Kansas. And then we had Ryan, a handsome Persian young man from Manhattan. It seems like an odd couple. It seems like a very odd couple, and it just wouldn't work. But Ryan engaged with her and connected with her on such a personal level. It was so special to watch, and that's how you are with everyone. Dane, my brother, my best friend. I know you said I have to keep this short, but this might take a while. I love you, I respect you, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy for you. Words really can't describe how I feel about you. We've been through so much. I've been through so much, and you've always been there for me. A lot of times it's the younger brother working to get the recognition from the older brother. But with Dane and I think it might be a little reversed. Dane will never say something if he doesn't mean it. I think we all know that. And when he came to visit me and my family last year in St. Louis, as he was leaving, he said, you've really built a good life and home for your family. And I've heard that a couple times the last few years, but hearing that from Dane just carries more weight. I think we all watch Dane, and it inspires us all to do a little better, to work a little harder. Dane, I know you love me, and you love everyone here unconditionally, but I want to make you proud, not because I have to, but because I want to. Also, Dane, you are not normal. As Jonah and Derek said last night, you're superhuman. The very few people in this world with your intelligence are weird. But you're not. You're laid back and fun. And the people in this world that have success like you are arrogant, but you're not. You're humble. You are a great brother, son, friend, and uncle. Johnny and Caroline would love to be here, and they admire you so much. Caroline said, Dad, make sure you tell Dane and Ryan how awesome they are. And Johnny said that he loved being with you guys a few weeks ago. And although he's not here with us physically, we know Dad is here in spirit. And if he was here, I think he'd probably say something like, Dane, you are the apple of my eye. Watching you grow up was the greatest joy of my life. I had a front row seat to greatness. And I love you more than you will ever know. Dane, you and Ryan are fantastic as individuals, but as a pair, you're even better. You two are truly unstoppable. And I'll close with this. You guys want to raise your glass, Dane, Ryan. Live each day as if it's your last. Love each night as if it's your first. May God bless you. To Dane and Ryan.
everything will be alright.
Everything will be alright.
And everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine.
'Cause my world's on fire and I'm starting to burn. Who's to say that it's not my turn? And we'll hold on to tonight.
This wedding is really happening because the boys wanted to celebrate with their friends. They wanted to party late into the night, and even a 2-year delay would never stop that from happening. So thank you again for making the effort to celebrate with them. For Ryan and Dane, friends are family, which means they have a huge and loving family sitting right beside them tonight. Since many of you don't know the inner workings of Ryan and mine relationship, I have to say that we're extremely close siblings. Anytime I've needed Ryan, he's been there for me without a second hesitation. Like the time I was going through a really rough moment in college and Ryan dropped everything, studying, met me on the college steps, and listened to me pour my heart out to him. He listened without judgment, and he did something I will never, ever forget. If you know Ryan, you know he makes healthy food choices, and sometimes he might roast me a little bit for my choices. But in that moment, he took my hand, he said, "It's your day, you can do whatever you want. Do you want a donut? Do you want a burrito, pinkberry, whatever you want, we're gonna go get it." So I loved my brother so much more in that moment for making me laugh in what seemed really a moment of crisis. He cares deeply for all of his friendships, and he loves to celebrate them. So I'm sure everyone's talked about it, so if you haven't heard of Southside, you're gonna learn a little bit more about it. It was our Mecca. Ryan and I went there all the time. We were friends with the door guy, the bouncer, anybody who had any sway there knew who we were, and we loved going there. It was our happy place. And it only seems fitting in their story that this is where Ryan and Dane first met, the scene of the first encounter, thanks to Mia. So the night after Southside, Ryan and I were heading on a family trip to Panama, and there was, an organized trip by Ryan, which meant there was tea time, there was nap time, we had a family hashtag, everything was planned out to the last detail. But what was not planned was how much Ryan was smitten with Dane within the first 24 to 48 hours. He seemed to be the whole package. He was extremely intelligent, extremely kind, and he came from the most loving family. So what more could you want in a life partner, truly? Dane, you are the love, absolute love of his life. And you're the best father to Roger and Hugo. And I've witnessed your relationship blossom and grow over the years through all the ups and downs that every relationship goes through. You've navigated grad school together, a cross-country move that made me really sad, but I'm really happy for you guys. You've built the most incredible home together, and you're basically creating and living your dream life together in LA. And I couldn't be happier for the two of you and for the dogs. You're the absolute best team, and I know behind the scenes how much you've supported, encouraged, and cheerleadered each other in your professional and private lives. Dane, you've taught Ryan to be more patient, to be more easygoing, and to let some things just go. You've also encouraged him to take up some new hobbies, like hiking, which I never thought would happen in our family, but I'm happy someone's doing it. And also my dad did go on a hike the other day, so I'm happy for him too. And you brought skiing back into his life. You are truly a balancing force in his life, and you make Ryan the happiest husband. You're not just a brother-in-law, a true brother to me. And I am just so lucky to have the two of you who are so loving, fierce, and loyal, and wonderful brothers in my life. So here's to Ryan and Dane. Please raise your glass. Thank you.